5 death row inmates that survived their execution. The last one is extremely shocking. William Kemmler was the first person to be executed in the electric chair, an event that occurred in New York's Auburn prison on August 6, 1890. Kemmler had been convicted of murdering his common-law wife, Tilly Ziegler, with a hatchet. The electric chair was a new method of execution, considered more humane than hanging. However, Kemmler's execution did not go as planned. The first jolt of electricity, lasting 17 seconds, failed to kill him, leaving Kemmler badly injured but still alive. Witnesses were horrified as they saw Kemmler convulse and bleed from his mouth. After a second jolt of electricity, Kemmler finally died, but the botched execution sparked a significant public outcry and debate about the humanity and reliability of the electric chair. Rommel Broom's case is one of the most remarkable and tragic examples of a failed execution in modern times. Broom was convicted of abducting, raping, and murdering a 14-year-old girl named Trina Middleton in 1984. He was sentenced to death, and his execution was scheduled for September 15, 2009, in Ohio. On the day of his execution, prison staff tried for 2 hours to find a suitable vein for the lethal injection but failed. Broom was pricked and prodded 18 times, causing him significant pain and distress, but the executioners could not successfully administer the lethal drugs. The governor issued a 1-week reprieve, and Broom's execution was rescheduled. Broom's lawyers argued that a second attempt would constitute cruel and unusual punishment, and after a series of appeals, Broom remained on death row until he died of COVID-19 complications in December 2020. Wenceslao Mogul, a Mexican revolutionary, faced a firing squad during the Mexican Revolution. On March 18, 1915, Mogul was captured and sentenced to death without trial. He was shot multiple times, including a final coup de grace to ensure his death. Amazingly, Mogul survived the execution. He managed to escape and recover, despite his severe injuries. His survival story became legendary, and he lived until 1975, often recounting his extraordinary escape from death. John Lee, known as the man they could not hang, is a famous example from the 19th century. In 1885, Lee was convicted of the murder of Emma Case, for whom he worked as a servant. He was sentenced to be hanged at Exeter Prison in England. On February 23, 1885, Lee faced the gallows. Incredibly, after the noose was placed around his neck, the trapdoor failed to open. This was despite multiple attempts. Each time, the mechanism inexplicably malfunctioned. After 3 failed attempts, the execution was postponed, and public opinion turned strongly in Lee's favor. His sentence was commuted to life imprisonment, and he was eventually released in 1907. The case was widely regarded as an act of divine intervention. Joseph Samuel, an Englishman transported to Australia for theft, is another historical figure known for surviving execution. In 1803, Samuel and some accomplices committed a robbery that resulted in the death of a police officer. Samuel was sentenced to hang in Sydney. During his execution, Samuel's noose snapped not once, but 3 times. The rope broke each time it was used, sparing his life. The governor of New South Wales interpreted this as divine intervention and commuted Samuel's sentence to life imprisonment. Samuel's miraculous escape from death earned him a place in the annals of history.